Happy Friday, everyone. Thank God it's Friday, am I right? Anyways, so I decided that I'm going to do an end of trimester vlog in this video. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I'm just going to talk about the highlights of what happened this last 3 months, the good, the bad, the ugly, the interesting, the exciting, and everything in between, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to cover every single thing that happened, but pretty much just mainly the highlights, I guess. So here we go. Um, I started the trimester and the program on January 10th, the 1 year recording arts program to become a recording engineer. It was interesting. The first class was music and computers, so I got to learn about what that was about, and it was quite exciting, let me tell you. Learning about like different types of sequencers and controllers and all the different things that come with computers and pretty much like what computer music is and music itself. And even though I already know about music itself since I am a musician, but it went into detail about things. I learned quite a lot for sure with music and computers. Our teacher, we had two teachers for the course. Derek, who is one of the, I guess he's one of the main teachers there. He also does other things like tech stuff and like setting up programs in your computer, kind of like Pro Tools, because he ended up setting up Pro Tools on my computer before the program began this year, late last year. So, or actually no, I think it was early January this year. I can't really remember that part, but yeah. We had Derek. Then in the second half of the course, we had Clash, or Aaron, which was his first name, Clash Rivera, and he's a DJ, so that was really cool. And he was also a teacher as well. He actually teaches a course on DJing, which was really cool and stuff. So thanks to him, we got to learn about various DJ techniques and the types of DJ equipment that is used, DJ gear, if you may. And he's really cool. Like he always was like, "House music, baby." And it was awesome. Like the guy was great. I had to start following him on Instagram because like of how interesting and cool he was. And so yeah, I got to know Clash and got to see like what he does. He's really good. He helps students with their compositions and getting them set up as well. Like he helped one of the students, Noah, just recently, I think in March, just because he needed some percussion done on his track, and Clash obliged and ended up playing some conga drums, which I thought was really cool. I never knew Clash played the conga drums, but when I saw that, I thought that was awesome. So yeah, I mean, Clash to me was one of my favorite teachers, if not my favorite teacher this trimester. And he helped get us set up. He helped get us going, especially with all the group projects we did for our radio ad and commercial ad. Like music and computers, like this course was kind of up and down. There were great moments. Like I had this video project, which was awesome. I loved it, where I did voiceover, which was really cool. And it was great. The group projects were good, fun, very, very fun, and I enjoyed myself. I'm glad I documented them, especially the commercial ad and also the radio ad and stuff, which you can find on my Instagram page just by scrolling down. But I mean, music and computers but it was, there were parts of it that weren't good. Like we had this remix project, and it's just, I couldn't get it. I struggled, and even with help from Bobby, one of the teachers, I still couldn't get it. So I just decided I was going to do the best I can, submit it, and hope for the best. I ended up failing it. So, but I mean, I guess remixing just isn't my thing. Mixing is my thing, but remixing just, I guess, isn't my thing, even though I love remixes from so many different trance musicians and dubstep musicians, but it's just, in terms of making them, nah, it's just not me. So, but I tried. I tried, and I wanted to try. I gave it 110%. I really did. I mean, I spent class time doing it. I spent time here doing it, and I just wanted to get it done. I mean, I did the best I could, and that's all we can ask for, right? So, but yeah. And as for the practical, that was the downside. I struggled. I just couldn't. I don't know. Like it was just weird. Like all the questions they were asking were just sounded very foreign to me, and I just couldn't understand what they were asking for, even though I tried studying and thought I knew everything, and I ended up not knowing a single thing, even though I understood some things, which was great, and a lot of the instructions were straightforward, but some of them were just like a bit convoluted, if that's the word, right? So, but I mean, I did it. I did the best I could. If there was something I didn't understand, I just skipped it. I mean, like, what else could I do? So, so yeah, it was an up and down course. Good things, bad things, but yeah, I mean, it was what it was, and we ended up doing it. I mean, I did well on the midterm exam, the theory that is, and I did well on the final exam, so I was kind of happy about that. So I wanted to move on to another course called signal processing. Now, this course, to me, and it wasn't just me, but it was the hardest course of the four. And a lot of people would have said the same thing because we all kind of struggled, especially Rob, who was our teacher, was giving us a lot of instruction that felt like he was speaking in Martian because it was like, what are you saying? Like, EQ, what's this? And at the time I didn't know. Well, like, I know now. Like, I know more now than I did. But it was just like he was fooling around with all these parameters and stuff, and I just couldn't really understand what was going on. I mean, I wrote it down, I wrote down the information, but when I went to do the labs, I was like, what? So signal processing, it was a hard course to start. It got easier thanks to us understanding the content. Like as it went along, it got easier, but to start, I mean, like I wanted to pull my hair out. Like, and I spent time, like I booked time in the suites to go in and spend time just to get all these labs done. The third lab, I remember that's when things started to turn around and I began to understand things a bit better, which is great. We were working with this song called Jolene by, well, it was a cover by Dolly Parton, and it sounded so awesome. Like I couldn't stop dancing to it. It was so fun. But it was just like after that, I think things started to turn themselves around. But we had this mix project, and that was like the main highlight of the course. Initially, I struggled. Like Rob marked pretty hard on the first task. Like a lot of people didn't really pass the first task, and I remember one of my classmates, I think his name was Peter. He was upset because he failed it. And he failed the first task and was not in the best of moods, and wanted to talk to Rob about it. And it was just like I barely passed, but like yeah, it was just weird. But anyway, luckily we did time-based effects like reverb, delay, and modulation, which I felt were understandable and a lot of fun too. Like I love reverb. Like reverb is cool, especially on like various songs and stuff like that. But I ended up turning the mix project around and got a pretty good mark. So from 66.67% on task 1 to 87.5% on task 2. So it was a huge turnaround. And I was excited. So thank God that I was able to understand reverb, delay, and modulation for time-based effects and added that to my mix. The third part was automation, which I got to like manipulate the volume, the panning, and the muting and any other parameters for various tracks. on different mixes and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun. Um, but yeah, I mean, like signal processing got easier, especially in the second half. Like it was the first course where we had a midterm exam so early because we had so many classes for that course to start, and then all of a sudden, like we had very few classes as the trimester went along. And I actually complained to Adam, the course director, about that, saying like this needed to be more spread out. But all his excuse was that people students need more time for extracurricular activities. We didn't have that much time for extracurricular activities, but I mean, I tried, man. Like I tried to say my stuff and voice how I felt about the course, but at the end of the day, this is how it is, right? But yeah, I mean, like it was the first midterm. I got, what did I get? I got 73, I think, on the midterm for signal processing. But then on the final exam, I got like 81, so I kind of improved. Um, it was funny. There was this one class where we were talking about this engineer who created this like whole mix session where you play the song, but in the video it's the different parts of the mix being played and where they are positioned within the mix in this visual display, which I thought was really cool. His name was David Gibson, and he had this really cool look, like very 80s 90s look with the mustache and the long hair. So I had to take a picture of it, and I was like, Rob, I'm gonna send this to you. I still haven't, but I'm like, I should put it on a t-shirt and like give it to him because it was such a fun photo. And it was really good. So but signal processing was to me the hardest course of the four. It was just, to start, it was like, what? And then I was like, oh. And I was like, oh yeah. And that's just how the course was. It's 3 months of finally figuring out stuff and learning about stuff. This is what happens when you don't work with a DAW or digital audio workstation. You finally work with one and you're like, it's foreign to you. And after a couple months it becomes more common, and then you understand like what exactly they're talking about, right? But it was just at the beginning I was like, huh? So, anyways, signal processing. I ended up getting a good mark for the mix. I ended up getting 90%. So from 66.67 to 87.50 to 90% flat, I ended up doing well on the second half of the mix, which was great. I mean, so um acoustics was my favorite class. Acoustics was really fun because we had Clash. He was great. I got to learn about various instruments. We got to watch music videos in class, which I thought was awesome. We got to watch Walking on Broken Glass by Annie Lennox when we were trying to figure out the range and the vocal range and tone of these various musicians, since we were looking at various vocal tones and ranges when we were studying about the different types of instruments and stuff. And we got to learn about so much, like acoustics. We got to learn about absorbers, reflectors, diffusers, and diffractors, and all this great fun stuff. For our project as well, which we had to I had to measure the diameter. I had to measure my room, and we had to figure out how we could transform the room into an actual recording space for recording acoustic instruments, vocals, what have you. So I ended up doing that. It was kind of fun. I ended up getting 100% on it. But measuring the dimensions, I had to borrow my landlady's measuring tape, and it was quite something for sure. Yeah, I mean, acoustics was great. Acoustics was awesome, and Clash was awesome, and we had a lot of fun. But that second class was the highlight of the entire course. Learning about all the instruments, watching music videos. It was great. It was so awesome. And Clash is the best. So as you guys know, well, for my fellow students who follow me on Instagram, yeah, you know exactly. So, um, I don't know what else to say about acoustics. I got 100%. I ended up getting 94% on the final exam. Like it was the highest mark I got on all the final theory exams. So, which is great. So, and the midterm I did really well on too. So I think I got like 86, I think. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that was acoustics. The last course was audio consoles. It started late. Of all the four courses, it started the latest. Started at the end of January. On the last day of January was when we had our first class for audio consoles. But finally, I got to learn about the actual physical analog audio console, which was great. And, you know, the various parameters, the channel strip, patch bay, which was the highlight. We all love patch bay. We did a in studio class in the Neve room, which was fun. And we got to like bring in sound from the live room, bring in like sound. There's a microphone in the live room. We had to bring that sound into the control room using the analog console and got to learn about that. And it was fun. We all took turns doing it, and I enjoyed it. It was great. It was a great learning experience. And we got to learn about like different types of consoles, which was great, and even all these portable consoles, like this Behringer console, which actually is portable. You can actually have one in your room. It's not like super big and it's not like super small, but you can carry it, which is awesome. I actually liked it. That was really fun. So I got to learn about that. And audio consoles, there wasn't really any projects. The practical exam um, was in which it was tied to the signal processing practical exam. So both of them were in the um, same course, I guess you could say. And yeah, I mean, there was just crazy madness with that practical and stuff. This was yesterday I'm talking about, and just because it wouldn't come onto my computer, like it wouldn't load into my computer because I was saying that one of the parameters was incorrect or something, and then when I finally did it on the actual computer, it froze. So I ended up having to do it on another computer, and it was just a crazy afternoon of dealing with this. And it was like, why, I just want to do this, I studied for this. I want to be done. So I mean, it was what it was. So, but yeah, I mean, audio consoles, it was the only course where I didn't get 100% on a single quiz. Every other course I got at least 100% on one of the quizzes. Like I got 100% on a few quizzes. I think for acoustics I got 100% on two of them, which was awesome. But for audio consoles, yeah, I came close twice to get 100%, but I just seemed to always get like one question wrong, or I don't know, it was just weird. But yeah, I mean, it was what it was, right? The midterm was also practical for audio consoles. And it was fun because there were the instructions. We got to like figure out how to do parallel processing, bus processing, and which I struggled with. That was the part of Pro Tools I struggled with, was the bus processing and the parallel processing. When I thought I got it, but the TA had to go over it with me again, and I finally got to understand. Like if I have instructions and if it's said in a way that I understand it, then I'm gonna do it successfully. But if it's said in some way where it's like what, I'm not gonna understand it and I'm going to struggle. So, but yeah, I mean, I got it done and it was good. At least I did well on that one. So on the midterm practical, I'm not sure about the final, but the final practicals I'm not gonna really find out until probably next week, I guess. So because they have to be marked and stuff. But I mean, it was what it was. Like this was an interesting trimester. Like there were a lot of fun stuff. Like we had open mic every Friday, which was great. I went to like I think every single open mic, except for ones that were canceled. There was one week where it was canceled because the TA was sick, so they didn't end up coming in and they canceled it. And then there was one where I didn't wear my green hat. I wore my green toque instead because it was a full day. We were there for 8 hours. We had a few classes like that on this trimester where it was like a full 8 hour class. So especially for the radio ad and commercial ad group projects for music and computers. But there was the commercial I was on the Friday, and that's when I wore my green toque because I wasn't sure if I was going to go to open mic or if it was going to happen. So but it was fine. We did so many fun things at open mic. Like I played a lot of my original songs. I early on I played my acoustic guitar, and then I played the keyboard there. I felt like the keyboard was okay, but not as good as mine. Like this one is great, it can do so much, but that one just couldn't do as much as I wanted it to. So it was just weird, but I ended up playing the drums for the first time, which was fun. Like the first ever time I got to, play the drums, and I even picked up a bass guitar like one week and stuff. But yeah, like drumming to All Apologies by Nirvana was really fun, and it was great to like get to know some of these students through open mic, which was great. And we got to play our songs, got to play covers, and I got to meet all these awesome students. I got to meet Sienna, Benji, Bennett first week, and then I got to meet Noah, Felipe, and I got to meet John, and I got to meet Hunter and Aaron and all these guys and stuff, which was great. Open mic was fun. But yeah, like that was a highlight of the trimester for sure, was open mic. And so that's some of the good things. Exciting things, well, throughout this trimester I was with my band. We were rehearsing every Saturday and or Sunday. I mean, some weeks Samson was there, other weeks he wasn't, and then most of the time it was, the three of us. We finally got a drummer in January, which was huge and exciting, even though the original drummer Brian only lasted a couple weeks. At least I was able to find Tom, and Tom has been our drummer ever since back in February. We went to this place that he knew called Ghost Note, and we rehearsed there every Saturday for like 6 or 7 consecutive weeks. I'm not really sure. Even though we were at main stage, then we went back to main stage, and then he got us a studio, which was great. And I bought another keyboard, and now we're in the studio. And I don't have to drag all my stuff with me, which is awesome. So it was great. That school and the band have been the two highlights so far this year, and this year has been awesome because of these two things. My life is different now. It's changed, and it's changed for the better. And I feel like the band is gonna go somewhere, and we're actually gonna do something with this, which is awesome. Yeah. So other things that happened in the trimester. Well, I mean, as far as the students go, I don't really have too many good things to say. I mean, there are good things to say, but there's also bad things to say too, unfortunately. Like when they were there, they were great. Like we got to hang out, we got to have fun, we got to, do our group projects together. We got to get to know one another and talk and stuff. But when they weren't there, it was frustrating because they decided, oh, I'm going to be at home instead of coming to school because, you can study online through Zoom. And it's just, to me, it's just ridiculous, and unfortunately, I thought it would just be like one person or two, but it was everybody, almost everybody. And it was just frustrating because I felt like I was going to be the only one in class, And this started happening in January. It was a lot of people. But then as February came, less and less people. And then March came, and then it started like steadied out. Then towards the end of March, like nobody. It's like very few. And it just got frustrating. And it's hard to respect people who are gonna do stuff like this, go behind their computer screen and be online instead of coming in person, which is what, you should be doing because you have all the facilities for you. Everything's there. And if you're not there, well, you miss out on stuff like open mic, you miss out on, you miss out on using all these facilities. You have rooms to work on stuff. What are you doing at home? Home is a huge distraction. There's so many things that can distract you from what you're doing. And plus, I don't know, they might have been cheating because they did all their exams at home. Like, I don't know, like they might have been cheating on their exams because their notes are right there. What's to stop them from looking at their notes, right? There's no teacher there. And it's just, it was frustrating. So that was one of the low points and one of the disappointing parts of the trimester was that. And it's just like and to be brutally honest with you, I just don't want to see them again because they can stay at home and hide behind their little computer screens. It's just I don't want to see them because I'm upset with them and I'm frustrated with them. The only person I want to see is Abby because at least Abby showed up most days. There were some days where she stayed home, but it was because she wasn't well. So she ended up staying home because of that. I mean, she had an excuse, which was great, but it's just thank God for her because I felt like she kept me sane. Because if she wasn't there, if she was like the rest of them, I would have probably gone nuts because being the only one in class, I mean, it's lonely. Like, where is everyone, And it's frustrating and it's just and it's just I don't know, it's just frustrating. And I don't understand and I never will and because I'm not like them. I am not like the rest of those people. I'm not like everybody else. Because ever since COVID, people have gone this way and they don't want to go back. It's like they're stuck. And they want to hide behind their little computer screens instead of going out in the real world like they used to do. Go to work 5 days a week. Instead, no, it's all this BS hybrid stuff. And it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. So, but I mean, I could go on and on about this, and I don't want to ramble on too much about this, right? So, but let's see what else. Well, there was quite a bit. I mean, there were times where, the internet went down a bit and we had to wait for the internet to come back up. The internet was a bit loopy. I don't know why. It just was. Some of the people, I mean, I felt Derek was okay. But I mean, I don't know. I kind of got frustrated with him too. He wasn't very friendly. I don't know. And then Rye, the other TA, was just kind of interrupted conversations a lot. And I mean, they were helpful, but they drove me nuts too. It's just with the way they acted and stuff. But I was always happy to see Noah, Felipe, and Sienna, especially Sienna. Like, to me, Sienna is awesome. Like, she is everything I want in a person because she's so great. She's nice, she's friendly, she's kind, she's smart, she's knowledgeable. Every time I see her, I just get so happy. She just does something and she's incredible. She's incredible. And I loved seeing her, and she liked seeing me too. Like, we follow each other on Instagram. There was a time where we actually talked and I got to know her quite a bit, right? Got to find out that where she's originally from, like in southern France. She's close to the Mediterranean Sea, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, she's awesome. What can I say? I need a woman like Sienna. I need a woman like Sienna because Sienna just checks off all my boxes. She really does. And we're gonna be recording a demo tape next week, hopefully. And I'm hoping that she can be my engineer because she's just so good. And even though I'm gonna probably learn about engineering by doing stuff like this, which is great. Noah was awesome too. I love Noah as well. The guy is very, very smart, professional. The guy is a musician. He's always there working on his music. He uses the suites, he uses the Neve room. The guy is dedicated, smart, he works hard. The guy, I told him, I have a ton of respect for you because you're awesome. And he's like, likewise as well, because a lot of them got to like my stuff. Like, I shared Fired Up with them, and they love Fired Up. Like, Noah loves Fired Up, Felipe loves Fired Up, John loves Fired Up, and yeah, I mean, like, I love seeing them, and I love the support. I told them that I had to do a video, and it's on Instagram as well, telling them thank you. This means a lot to us, right? So, because I told them, like, we work really hard, and I told Sienna, like, the band, we work really hard and stuff, and she's very supportive, and it's awesome. And but yeah, so those are some of the people who I enjoyed seeing, who I want to see more of. Um, Hunter was in his third term. He's going to be done. Bennett is also in his third term. He's also done. So I don't know if I'm going to see them again. Like, I saw Bennett, I was like, am I going to see you again? He said that he'll be around, but I'm not entirely sure, right? So I overheard that he was going to go to Europe and do like a bike riding adventure through Europe. So, which I think is really cool. So he said he was going to do that in May or something. I'm not really sure. So, but yeah, I mean, Benji, I got to see Benji. Benji and Sienna were doing a lot of work together. Like, Sienna also helped out with Noah as well, with his track as well. When Clash went in there to do some drumming on the Congo drums, she was in there as well. Like, she helped engineer his session, and then she also helped engineer Benji's session as well. But I noticed that those two seem to hang around a lot and do a lot of things together. Like, I don't know if there's a thing going on there or something, but I always see them together, and I'm like, okay. So, well, because she's French and he is Hungarian, so I don't know. Maybe it's a European thing. I'm not entirely sure, right? So, but anyway, yeah, it was good seeing them and stuff. Uh, well, there was one person as well. There was Alina, and I don't know if I want to go into too many details about it. Like, I think she liked me more than I liked her, and she kind of was displaying that a lot through the way she was acting towards me and around me and stuff. Like, it was just, I was like, okay, and I got interested, and I don't know why, I just kind of did, and it's like, wow, okay, and it's like, sure. And then we were hanging out, and we had this one assignment in class, and we were listening to um, "Rock with You" by Michael Jackson, and we were trying to imitate the different beats and stuff to the beats of the song, and we were having fun and dancing around and stuff, and it was like, okay, well, there's obviously something here. I'm not sure, but I mean, I was so happy. I was so happy. Like, I had to share it on Instagram, and then my mom saw it and it was like, Alina seems like a nice person. Well, no kidding. But unfortunately, when I got to learn that, like, I love seeing her. She was great, but then all of a sudden, after the end of March, she stopped showing up and decided to be online instead, and it just got frustrating, and I had enough. Like, I was fooled. Like, she played with my emotions, gave me mixed signals, fooled my mother and other people as well, and I can't believe I fell for that. And it's unfortunate that Alina did that and stuff, and then she reached, and then I ended up leaving the WhatsApp group because I couldn't stand any more of these people being online. So I left the group because I felt like I'm not a part of them. I'm different. I'm my own thing. And then she messages me like, "What happened?" And it's like, "Are you there?" And then finally I was like, I had to tell her the truth, and she doesn't even get back to me. So it's like, why did I even bother? So I've had it up to here with her, and I don't want to ever see her again. Just like I don't want to see any of those other people again, except for Abby, of course, because at least Abby shows up. But anyway, so what a trimester. I mean, there's a lot more things, but I just wanted to talk about the highlights and stuff and all and those things as well. But I'm sure I covered most things. Like this has been going on for 35 minutes now. I thought it would be going on for like an hour or two, but I don't want to really go into that much detail, right? So, but these are just the highlights. This video is gonna go on YouTube. Previews will go on Instagram and Facebook. If you guys are interested, you can watch the full video on my YouTube channel. You guys can always like go on there. It's Jonathan Deserres, DE space SERRES, but you'll probably see it on there anyway. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the vlog. One trimester done, two more to go. We're recording the demo tape next Thursday. For the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be working on my music, see if I can get the band stuff going, like the website and socials and stuff like that. Trying to apply for student loans and grants. I have an appointment to go see a bank advisor about a student line of credit. I'm not getting my hopes up though, because I'm probably not going to get it since I'm not working and they want you to have some sort of employment. But it's worth a shot. I don't know. And so yeah, and then trimester 2 starts May 6th, which is that Monday. It's the first full week of the month. So looking forward to the next 4 courses. One is recording tech, which Rob always talked about. He's like, you'll learn more about this in recording tech. Great. And sound design, which I'm actually looking forward to, because we're going to be putting actual compositions and music to video images, which is awesome. So I already did it once with the video project for music and computers. Now I'm going to do it like many more times in sound design, which is going to be fun. There's going to be aesthetics of music, which is important because I need to brush up on my music theory. And there's going to be electronics and technology, which to me is going to be the hardest course because I hear that there's a lot of information and stuff. So it's kind of like music and computers, but I think more advanced. But then Rob's telling me recording tech's going to be the hardest course. So I don't know. We'll have to see in 2 weeks. But anyway, that's all for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the vlog and have a wonderful rest of your Friday. All right, well, you take care for now. Bye.